Okay, welcome Felipe.
Okay, hello, my name is Felipe, and I titled my presentation Arte de Guerra, which means Art of War. The article I chose was Naming the Disappearing, Raising the Dead by the Colombian artist Doris Salcedo. And I think she argues that art matters because it can be used to address aspects of reality like war and like violence that we don't usually, and like governments don't like to talk about and choose to like ignore. And like the suffering of people, it's something that we don't often discuss, and they use art as a medium to kind of like communicate that. And the artist that I chose to connect to this article is the Brazilian artist Cândido Portinari, who lived from 1903 to 1962. He was part of the modern art, and more importantly, the neo-realism movement, which is kind of like the renewal or like a different interpretation of life, of like people living their lives. And his main medium was paintings. The first painting that I chose by him is actually two paintings, but they're kind of like combined, they go together, which is Guerra, which is the one on the left, and Paz, which means war and peace. And I chose these because, and we can see there's like contrast between the two paintings. The right one obviously having like this brighter yellow color, while the left one has this like more sadness, while like the right one has more harmony and peace. These paintings relate to Salcedo's usage of art to demonstrate kind of like political violence and expose to the world like how like people really suffer from war, and how we should like try to keep peace and keep this from happening. The second painting that I chose was Dead Child, made in 1994, and it shows kind of the effects of death and war on a family. He uses shapes in this painting to make it look almost like it's cracking or breaking, or truly showing like the sadness and sorrow of this family. And he uses this painting to help make the audience understand the consequences of war in like a deeper level, to make them truly feel sad and work towards global peace. The third painting that I chose is kind of related to the other painting. It's Migrantes, which means immigrants in Portuguese, but he doesn't mean immigrants as in them going from one country to another country. He uses immigrants as in them having to leave their home due to some circumstances of war. And he uses texture in this painting, kind of making it feel like dry, almost as if the painting itself is dehydrated and starving, like the family in this image. And he shows that like the victims of war truly suffered through so much, like having to lose their home and lose food and income and everything. And he uses this art to like kind of like communicate that. So in conclusion, art is really important because it helps us address combat violence and war. And I think both Cândido Portinari and Doris Salcedo address this and further prove this point. Thank you.
Thanks, Felipe. I loved hearing your pronunciations of the names. Can you say the artist name one more time for us?
Cândido Portinari.
Okay, thank you. And audience, comments, questions?
Yes.
I really appreciate how you, in the migrants image, how you sort of said that it almost feels dry and starving. I thought that was a really creative interpretation.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you chose an actor artist?
Well, because he's from Brazil, obviously, and I feel like I have like a deeper connection because I'm also from Brazil and I can further understand his paintings. Yes, I am.
Which one's your favorite painting to choose from?
I personally like the first one, Yeah, and Pies. I think it like there's like a lot going on, and I feel like he first drew only war, and then he ended up later in his life drawing peace and kind of like finishing off and kind of complementing the piece. And I think like it goes very well together to both show like the sorrow of war and the happiness of being in peace.
Are there other visual elements in these works that you would point out beyond color? What else do you see?
Yeah, there's like he uses some like cubism as well, and like kind of shows like there's like a rhythm to it of like there being like almost like lines of paintings of like things going on at the bottom, at the middle, at the top in both paintings, and like the contrast between both of them. Having, for example, like a dead child at the bottom of the left painting, while there's children playing on seesaws on the other painting.
Oh, we got Asher.
Was there a specific time period that he lived in that might have had like specific wars or?
Yeah, he
crises?
lived during World War II.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.